Good evening, everybody. I'm Jim the IT Guy. Welcome to my office in rainy Cornwall. This is a quick video on two things. Number one, there is a new version of Edge out. Microsoft have updated their web browser Edge. I highly recommend you go and download the latest version. It completely replaces the old version, which in many people's eyes, is a good thing. The new version, which you can see if I do this, has a snazzy new icon, which shows that, well, it's a completely new version. This version is based on Chromium. This is the same backend as Google Chrome and a few other web browsers, and performs very nicely indeed. I've been using it through its beta stages and into release, and I have to say I'm very impressed with it. This was the first version of Edge that you can actually install on previous versions of Windows. So you can install it on Windows 7 if you are still running 7, which I cannot advise anymore. Windows 8, obviously Windows 10, Windows Server, so Windows Server 2016, 2012 R2, and I believe even 2019. You can also run this on Mac, and there are Android and I believe iOS versions as well. So yes, well worth the upgrade, well worth the time. Now, as we're on the subject of upgrades, I recently acquired a new customer who was experiencing quite significant problems, had lost faith in their previous IT company, where they basically were unable to get a point-to-point wireless link between their buildings up and running. Lots of excuses, lots of blame the other people. So happily, I had a phone call saying, "Help! Can I come and have a look at it? Can I do something about it?" So I did. I went in. Happy to say everything is sorted, using the correct kit in the correct way. Another very happy to say Unify customer, using Ubiquiti's Unify kit, using mesh APs, linking their buildings together. Very successful, very happy. Now, this is just a quick, I say rant, it is a bit of a rant, because I had to pull off of site equipment that should have done the job fine, but they could not get to work properly. Now, I've pulled the kit off site. It literally, and this is the shame, it's Ubiquiti kit. So the actual kit itself is, is proper. This is a pair of. I have a pair of Ubiquiti. I'm going to zoom in. Those are NanoStation AC locos. Now, that combined with a light AP from Ubiquiti also, it should have worked. It did not. Now, one of my frustrations that I often come across going to places is when you find that the basics are not done. And one of the most basic things when you are troubleshooting is to make sure everything is up to date. IT 101. Is the system up to date? Now, this system is not. This is the light AP that I pulled off site, and currently it is running version 8.5.9 of the firmware, which, well, let me just show you this. This is Ubiquiti's update list. The latest version for this particular access point is 8.6.2. This was released back in August last year. So this firmware is 5-6 months old already. This kit has been on site, so these pieces of equipment were on site for less than 6 months. They were having problems. They were having connection drops. The first thing you would do is check to make sure there's no updates to the firmware. the first thing I did when I got them back, I factory reset the devices so that I can get onto them, and I've checked the firmware versions. The firmware for this AP 8.5.9 is from somewhere between September and January, September 2018 and January 2019. The firmware is a year old. So in all the troubleshooting that I don't think they went through, no one bothered to check the firmware. No one bothered to check for updates to the basic kit. They were having problems dropping connections. Now, I've done a quick look on this. I actually thoroughly recommend Ubiquiti kit. I use it in a lot of places and I don't get any problems with it, but I keep on top of the firmware. I keep my devices up to date. This again, this is the reason why. Now, this is the changelog for the latest version. So latest AirMax AC firmware 8.6.2, and one of the first things I spotted when AP is using 40 blah 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 blah, wireless link can be established incorrectly. So they fix problems. This is why you update equipment. In my opinion, anyone that sits there and says you don't update anything unless you need to, no, you update to fix potential issues. You update to fix security issues. You keep systems up to date in this day and age. Standing back and letting kit get out of date is, well, it's neglect. If you have a genuine reason for holding a piece of software or a piece of hardware at a particular firmware level, a particular software level, fine, so long as you mitigate risks. This is laziness. This is what happens when people put kit in that they do not understand. So this is my mini rant. Anyway, I now have some nice Ubiquiti kit to update. We'll see what I use it for. If anyone can come up with anything they'd like to see done with this kit as a demonstration, please do drop me a message. Very appreciated. So there we go. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little bit of a rant, and just to see what they say. One of the things that does rile IT technicians up a fair bit is having to put things right that they shouldn't need to. So thank you again for watching. Please like, subscribe, drop me some comments, always appreciated, and hopefully see you soon.